This episode is brought to you by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro near you at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
Ryan is in Minneapolis. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My wife and I are currently in baby step 3, and we'll be finished with that by the end of the year. We receive an annual bonus in March. It'll be roughly $15,000 take home. Would it be better for us to take that 15 to fully fund our Roth IRA, or to spread our contributions out throughout the year and use the bonus between steps 4, 5, and 6?
It doesn't matter much. Either one will be fine. The difference mathematically is what you might earn. If you do the 15 all in a lump sum in March, what would you have earned in March versus 1/12 of the month all the way around? And so, like say the average might be what you would earn on 8 or 10,000 of that 15. So it might be $1,000 difference. It might be $800 difference on a 10 or 12% year.
Unless we had a crystal ball, we won't know for sure what the math is on that. But in general, the sooner you get money into the market, the better off you're going to be long term.
Right. But it's not. I mean, the difference it's not like you're going to have millions of dollars more because you did 15 lump sum versus 15 1/12 of the time all the way around the horn, right?
Right.
But basically, for instance, in my case, okay, I fully fund my 401k for the whole year in January.
Okay.
I dump the whole thing in there, okay, because I own the company, and I can just bonus myself whatever I need to and make sure I got enough to do that, right? So I just load the stinking thing up, and then I've got that, I don't know, let's call it $20,000 or $30,000 or whatever it is. It's working the entire year rather than 1/12 working the entire year, 2/12 working part of the year, 3/12 working part of the year, 4/12 working part of the year, and so on. You follow me? So
Yep.
The difference is what I would make on 30 grand, 27 grand, 28 grand, 24 grand, 23 grand, 22, and so on all the way around the horn. And so George is right. A lump sum up on the front end is going to average more than doing it monthly. The second thing to enter into the conversation, because it's a good question, is you want to be sure if the steady monthly thing keeps you doing it because you're on autopilot versus jumping on and off the wagon with lump sums, and you're not as predictable with it, sustainable with it that way, you'd be better off sticking with the one that keeps you doing it. And so I set up stuff. I set up stuff early in my life once I started understanding these principles to trick myself into having discipline, like automatic 401ks or automatic draft on my checking account for Roth IRAs or those kinds of things back in the old days. So I automatically had debt. I went so far as in the old days when I started this stuff, there was no internet, of course, and so there was very little auto draft on utilities and that kind of stuff. You used to have to write a check and send your electric bill through the mail, okay? And as soon as they set it up where they would take auto draft, I put all my utilities on auto draft so that I never missed a discount. And that's been, God, that's 25 or 30 years I've been doing that. So anything I can do to have autopilot, automatic discipline.
Yeah, I like that mentality, because if you're investing 15% of your income forever, you're going to learn to live on 15% less than you would have. And so it's sort of like that money was never there. And that's a good way to live because it keeps you in check. So I think that long-term discipline is key. But for this year, if you just wanted to fund them and be done with them and move on, that's cool
or if
too.
if for 10 years you've always gotten a bonus in March of 15 grand and you want to just label that's going to go towards our retirement and we're going to do less through the rest of the year, fine. I don't know, but whatever you do, trick yourself into being consistent. And when given the opportunity, a lump sum early in the year will outperform a steady monthly investment because it's been in there longer.
There's a fancy name for that.
Is in there longer.
Dollar cost averaging.
That's what you're not doing.
Yeah.
Is dollar cost averaging when you put it all in there. Yeah. You're missing out on that.